I'm Tony Papa from Pro Media Gear, here to talk a little bit about the Boomerang. Today, last week, just to recap a little bit, we talked about the Boomerang Flash Bracket system from Pro Media Gear. The Flash Bracket system allows you to rotate your flash and keep it above the lens, reducing red eye and eliminating shadows from behind and side shadows and side shapes on the face that you don't want. Today we're just going to talk about a couple accessories that go really well with the Boomerang, how our modular system works, and just kind of quickly recap some of the core items that go with the Boomerang. To get started, just to recap, we have the Boomerang that's going to go better with grip cameras called the BBG V2. That's this taller guy here. I'll open that up. It's designed specifically for the grip-based cameras. It's going to give me easy access to this trigger point here on the camera body, or on the grip body. Whereas the BBX is our more universal model, slightly smaller. It's going to go on a standard DSLR, Micro Four Thirds camera, and similar. It can be expanded up and down to accommodate for the battery, but the handle is going to be behind me. I'll go ahead and put those on right now to kind of show you what I'm talking about, and then we'll get right into the accessories. So Boomerangs go on pretty easily. You got a little kickstand built in. You just flip this open on the BBX, line up the pins to the plate, locks right on in there if you open it correctly. Oops. And then tightens on down. Got the kickstand here, put that out. On the BBG, just loosen the NATO clamp right here, flip it over, tighten it down. Line it up to the holes on our modular plates, tighten it down. Right now, for demonstration purposes today, both cameras just have the universal PBX3 bracket plate, which is the most popular plate we have. We also do manufacture custom plates as well, but we're not getting into that as much today. On the universal plate here, which is the PBX3, it's going to hold tight on the bottom of your camera with a silicone gasket. It's going to give you the opportunity to move over a little bit left or right, as well as slide forwards and backwards on your camera body to get a good fit for you. Our modular plates feature these 4 holes. The 2 holes on the outside are for guide pins. The 2 holes in the middle are threaded. A lot of times we use 1, sometimes 2 threaded holes to lock down and hold on the accessories. Right now I've got the BBX on the short-bodied camera here. The flash is going to get put up on top. It's going to give me enough room to have my transmitter here, or a cable if I have to. When you squeeze the Boomerang, it allows me to rotate it over, locks in, keeps that flash in that upright above the lens position for my portrait. Goes right back down like that for my landscape. Kickstand right here allows me to lay it on a table conveniently if I have a heavier lens so it doesn't tilt over on me. Now the accessories that you have the opportunity to get here on the side, there's actually a plethora of stuff, but the most popular thing we offer is our HB70 handle. This handle is quite simple to install. It's going to come with a nice leather bike grip handle, and just line up the guide pins right there, and just spin the wheel. It's going to go right into the plate. Once it's snug, you're done. Now I've got a nice little handle here. I can transition, do some hybrid video if I want, get some high shots, low shots, or just makes it a lot easier to carry. Just so you guys see it, I'll go ahead and put the whole cold shoe on top here. Our cold shoe, the CS2, popular item, has a little dovetail channel in it. There's a dovetail channel on top of the Boomerang. It sits right on in there, locks down with a 1/4-20 adapter from below. Doesn't twist on you, so it's not going to come loose. I'll go ahead and take my flash, pop it on in there. May still select to bounce the flash. I can shoot straight, use a mag mod modifier, whatever I want. This is a nice aircraft grade aluminum machined component. Super rigid, weighs less than a pound, but it's very strong. So you can put a flash on it, the mag mod, small softbox if you want, even if you used our extenders. Even something like the Profoto B2, which I'll show you in a second, which is much heavier, or even the B10. If you want to carry it, the Boomerang is going to support it. So as you can see here, fingers aren't long enough. You can go ahead and flip this over, shoot, flip back over, easier to carry. Now the handle here has a couple features as well. The handle's got a 1/4-20 hole in the middle, 4 anti-rotation pin slots on the outside perimeter. I can order a CS2. You can go ahead and drop a cold shoe in here, utilizing a couple of the anti-rotation pins sold separately. You go ahead and mount that guy right down there. It's not going to twist or wobble on you. You then have the opportunity to put a flash over here. Now I've got an opportunity to do a bounce fill if I want. You can add a microphone over here, maybe a monitor back so I can see what I'm doing if I'm more video centric. But what makes the whole system cool is because it's modular, I can just remove this. So on the days I'm just doing video production work, it's all built around that PBX3 bracket plate or the custom bracket plates that offer the port holes. Put that Boomerang back on real quick and easy, since that's what we're kind of focusing on today. And I'm all set. Now, say there's a day I don't want to use the handle, and I'd like an L bracket. We offer a couple different kinds. We've got universal L brackets, we've got a tilt screen universal L bracket, and we also have custom L brackets. Now all that sounds like a lot, but what it ultimately means is on the left hand side of the camera, I'm going to put an Arca-Swiss plate on the side and give myself the opportunity to mount on a ball head the camera on a vertical or portrait orientation. And the reason for this would be just compositionally, it's rotating more around the lens, it's not changing anything, and it's also giving me better balance on my ball head, around my tripod. I know a lot of the ball heads just tilt. You do have an opportunity of recomposing stuff. It's kind of a pain in the butt if you know what you're doing. You've seen it, you understand it. But just think of it like this. Like if I'm tilting, everything's shifted. Now I've got to like lift my tripod up, move it over. The scene's not the same. I want to go right back. This is huge when you want an L bracket for like volume sports, when I can shoot a landscape shot with the team, and maybe go right into headshots and go right into the portraits. So the universal one, it's just a 90-degree, approximately 3-inch dovetailed Arca-Swiss compatible aluminum L bracket. On the bottom here, it's going to slide into our grooves on these hardened steel pins, and then go ahead and get screwed down securely with a couple screws on the bottom. Once secured on the bottom, it's not going to move. Some of you might want to use it as a handle, put it in for more safety, pull it out a little bit if you're tethering. It's going to give you a lot of opportunities there. It's real quick and easy to put in. When you don't want to use it, just loosen up the screws on the bottom and take it out. We've got a new one, PLX3T. That one's going to be a little bit more forward. It's designed for you guys with tilt screens. So the screen would come out, allow me to articulate, and actually be able to see it from my low shots. Whereas when I have on the other unit, and I have a tilt screen, the screen's going to bump into the back side of this. It's going to protect and give me better access to these ports, but it's not going to allow me to tilt without bumping into it. So you kind of got to think, like what fits your shooting style the best? Is it the tilt availability? But tilt's automatically going to probably bump onto these two. So you just got to think, like what's my shooting style? What am I actually shooting? The PLX3T is going to get supported the same way, mounted in from the bottom. We even built in a little cold shoe here so that a lot of guys, we fear of tilt screens, we're doing more video-centric type stuff. You can put in that microphone and then, or a monitor or a light, something like that right here. Use it, don't use the Boomerang, whatever you want, but now you've got the opportunity to go ahead and use that stuff on there. Now we also do some other features that are going to work both on the Boomerang as well as custom and universal L brackets for the taller camera. So I'll go ahead and transition over to the BBG camera here. I'll go ahead and show you those. Are there any questions so far on the BBX type setups or anything popping up?
Yeah, I think Instagram's still having issues.
Okay, that's fine. We'll go right into the BBG. If something comes up and you think about it, please feel free. First subscribe, then like, then send the question. Feel free to check us out at promediagear.com as well, or give us a call. Super easy to find us. So on the BBG, we've got the Boomerang Flash Bracket. It's a little bit taller, and it's going to give me easy access to the trigger controls and shutter controls here on the grip, or the taller bodied cameras that have this feature. This isn't going to work at all on the smaller cameras, because you can't adjust your up and down, and it could potentially bump into your lens. So if you're always using a taller camera, always using a camera with grip, this would be the way to go. This adjustment feature here allows it to slide in and out, but not up and down. It's on a spring, so you can kind of set it to where you want, get it out of your way. That's that. You're going to want to try to get it as close over the center of your lens as you can for optimal use. Now back to the accessories. We discussed that there's a universal L bracket. This is the PLX4. This is 4 inches in length approximately. Goes in the same holes like we said on the others, gets supported by screws on the bottom. This being a little bit taller, it's going to be able to be a little taller for the cameras with grip or the taller body cameras. As you can see, being universal though, it's close, but it's not exact to the ports on the side. Being that I have a universal bracket, I could adjust that a little bit, but it's still a little tight on these ports and stuff over here. But what it's doing as a universal bracket is giving me the flexibility to move in and out, It's also giving me the Arca dovetail I need, and the protection potentially on the side ports. I can even extend it a little bit and use it as a handle, just like discussed as before. There's also quarter 20s. Every once in a while you kind of use your imagination, do whatever you want with those. There's also a magnet on top or on the bottom of some of ours. You can slide the Allen key in, which is going to be to utilize to take off those screws on the bottom. Now the PLX4, we also offer custom. And custom ones, for certain cameras, are going to look more like this. A little cutout shape designed specifically for that camera. This one's not exactly for this camera, but to get the idea, I have more room here now. I'm going to be able to get my battery out. And I also have specifically designed access to the ports on that camera. One here in my hand is for the BGE20, which is the 5D Mark IV grip. So it's going to get paired up with a custom plate, slide in there, and be perfect for that camera. The universal one, like I said, it's going to be close, it's fine, gets me everything I need, but I don't have access to the battery. I don't have access to all the ports perfectly, but it's a give and take depending on what's fitting your shooting style. It does still easily come out pretty quickly with just the screws on the bottom, comes right out. So that's the accessories for the L bracket for the two cameras. Lastly, to talk about today for a couple other popular accessories are our baby pin and our rosette. So we have two opportunities to put on stuff like a B2, a B10, the old quantum lights. And there's a lot of other stuff out there that utilizes the 5/8 stud or baby pin. We've milled ours with two flats that are going to go in that groove channel that we discussed earlier. And then it's also got a flat on the side here so that you're going to get anti-rotation capabilities built right in so that the heavier load that you're putting on there, which the Boomerang's easily going to be able to support, isn't going to try to twist on you. So you can see you got this on there, right there. Makes it really easy and convenient. Pop my light right on there, such as this Profoto B2. It's going to bite right down on top of that stainless steel baby pin. This thing's locked down there pretty snug. Adjust accordingly. You would just throw the cable over your hand or over your shoulder, carrying that B2 power pack by Profoto. The Elechrome ELB 400 500 series would be a very similar setup. Now I've got a lot more power. Off the top of my head, it's like 250 watt seconds. Recycle time's amazing. Light output's amazing. It's just a good opportunity to really get a nice amount of light in a portable situation. The Boomerang's going to support that weight no problem. Now, a couple of you have asked, and we've made it, and it's been extremely popular, is that, hey, I've got this light, but I would like to use a small modifier on it. So I need to get it up a little higher, otherwise it's going to go ahead and block that lens. The modifier, in order to get up high enough, we made a 5-inch pin called the BLSA 5A. Now this one's going to be a little bit taller. It's going to give you that opportunity, as you can see here, just to get that light up a little taller. But now it's going to give me the opportunity to have a small softbox, small beauty dish, or small other opportunity or an accessory, just to be able to get it up out of the way. It does start to get a little top heavy, but it is capable of holding it. With that being said, we made a rosette. Now, rather than just having a rosette, which is going to articulate the light and make it out of cork or anything like that could potentially slip, what we did is we made it, Tom, you can get in here, we got it out of stainless steel teeth. So we really took the time, put these jaws in there. So it's not something that you're going to easily kind of maneuver one-handed. You kind of almost have to stop and get it set ahead of time, but it's well worth that couple seconds. You're going to be able to take this, articulate it where you want it, put that pin on real quick and conveniently get that weight back. By getting like a Z pattern, you're going to bring the weight back, put more of the weight on your forearms when you're shooting rather than a front heavier load on your fingertips. And it's also going to articulate that softbox or beauty dish, if you have one on there, and kind of get it back more out of the way of your lens. It will work as well with the taller 5-inch or the smaller, approximately 1.5 inch BLSA or BLSA 5A. And just to show you, I've got it set up over here on this guy. So I'm just going to lock it on in. Again, it fits in that groove channel, which is really nice. So you're getting all that anti-rotation capabilities out of it. I've got this thing set pretty far back, as you can see there. Give you a clean shot of that.
Yeah, it's good.
Then when you put this light on, you're like, man, it's like really, really backwards, kind of. But what it's doing is it's really tremendously helping putting that weight over here, rebalances everything. And then on your Profoto or Elechrome or similar, you're able to kind of make a Z. And just go ahead and get that angle where you want it, so it's on your subject. You have
It
the
helps
opportunity-
with if you use a softbox.
Absolutely. The softbox it's going to use kind of scoop down, not as much onto the lens. Actually helps out a ton. But now when I'm using it, just the weight's more balanced. Loosen this up a smidge. Now this is using cork, so you want to tighten it down a little bit, but right now for demonstration I have it loose so I can kind of maneuver it. Whereas you notice this isn't going to move at all because it's got those teeth. So that's just how we want it. This thing's not going to spin, twist, or do anything. I'm able to shoot, rock it into a portrait mode, just get a ton of light. It's not too heavy either. Once it's balanced, it's nice. Go ahead and shoot a wedding or an event with that guy there. And not only will you get some good shots, you're going to get a lot of respect, the professionalism holding something like this, and just be like, get that wow factor going for you. But it's one heck of a light. It's a great setup, the Boomerang. Let us know if you have questions in regards to how it works more, or what other accessories you can use with it. But it's great for the wedding and event shooter. It's that time of year. We've got them in stock. You can visit us at promediagear.com. We're always here.
So maybe if you could like reiterate what's the point of a flash bracket, like the number one feature or
Sure.
benefit.
We'll rewind a little bit. Can answer some questions here. So why do I need a flash bracket? What does it do? Why do I really want one? A couple reasons is they used to be cumbersome. So a lot of you guys out there have flash brackets, or ladies, have flash brackets and maybe don't use them as much because they're bulky and cumbersome. But what they do is once you get them on there, is they really do help. They give you the opportunity to keep the light above your subject. So then when I'm shooting, coming above my lens with even lighting, I'm going to get better shadows and a reduced red eye the higher I can get the light in most cases. And by swapping over this way, like say this wasn't here at all, I just went like this, I'm going to shoot like a sideways shadow against the wall on my subject. The shadows on the cheek and the nose are going to be messed up. We understand that happens in real life, so we're not too confused by it, but you notice the picture being a more elaborate quality photography when the shadows are in a better orientation. Your eyes and everything are much nicer and cleaner looking. It's going to save you on retouching as well, because you shouldn't have to almost on these. The BBX and the BBG are just different sizes, and how ours actually won a couple awards years ago now is for its modularity. Being able to take that bracket off and make it as small as possible, so the day you're not using it, the hour, maybe you don't need it the whole event, we totally understand. You're just going to be able to break it down, fold it flat, and put it in your bag, and use it as a tool. Instead of saying, oh man, I wish I could have used it, but it's at my house, it's a little bulky. Our plate system's designed to stay on the bottom of your camera at all times, and then just get ready, and when you want it, it's there. It's ARCA compatible, it's going to fit on a ton of ball heads and stuff on the market today. So I always leave it on, and I can just go shoot. I don't even have to think about it, and then that one, little bit of a meeting or an event that I have, I can grab the Boomerang, set it up, use it, and it's just going to come in handy as a tool. Just another opportunity to take better photos.
Now also, are these compatible with all types of cameras, mirrorless, DSLRs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the BBX is designed more towards the smaller angle of cameras, the standard size DSLRs, micro four thirds, and mirrorless cameras. As cameras keep getting smaller, we're going to look into ways of making the bracket smaller, but that's the way to go, would be the BBX on that. If your camera has a grip, and you're always using the grip, and you really rely on the grip controls that are on a lot of the battery grips today, you're going to want to look at the BBG. G for grip is the easiest way I remember it, and it just is going to be a slightly larger unit. They both utilize the same Boomerang arm, the shape right here, but you can see that this one's a little bit taller. That's just there to accommodate for the grip. Whereas on the BBX, as we discussed before, is you do have the opportunity to raise it up, loosen up this 532 NATO clamp, and slide it up. You can do it, but as I shoot on a grip-based camera, the knob here, the disconnect knob, is going to be in the webbing of my hand, which is why we made the BBG. So all that can be found in other videos as well. We'd also be more than happy to answer any questions through email or through a phone call as well. So
Yeah, that's really it.
any additional questions today?
No, it's good.
Great. Thanks for your time, everybody. I'm Tony from Pro Media Gear. I look forward to talking to you soon.